remain the most prosperous, powerful nation on earth. Our workers are no less productive than when this crisis began. Our minds are no less inventive. Our goods and services no less needed than they were last week or last month or last year. Starting today, we must pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and begin again the work of remaking America.
We're exploring something today very important, which is having the first black president in the White House and how that will affect the future of all black men. A recent study in the New York Times revealed that 5 million black males in America between ages 20 and 39 are unemployed, underemployed, or unemployable because of criminal records. Will that change now that we have a black president? Joining us now is Kijan, who's upset because she says her friend Sean needs to step up and try harder to get a job. Okay, so tell me what's going on. You don't think he's stepping up? He looks like a real nice, put-together guy.
Well, Sean and I went to graduate school together, and he's a very intelligent guy. My problem is that Sean isn't just pushing hard enough. I feel that he's not really sort of putting himself out there enough, not sending out enough resumes, not pounding the pavement as much as he needs to. And it's just really heartbreaking and disappointment to see that he's just not doing the best that he possibly could in his job search.
She says that you're not pushing hard enough.
Well, I beg to differ. I think the issue is that, you know, based on how I look, you know, it's very difficult for me to fit in the, you know, workplace culture. You know, the fact that I'm big, I have a beard, you know, all these things, you know, whereas I have, you know, white friends who, you know, have beards and, you know, look a certain way, but they're still able to get the job, or they're still able to work in the workplace because people are comfortable with that.
So you think that's what it is for him, that those are the obstacles of being a black man, Kijan, or do you think that it is him being lazy?
Well, I think part of it is that he's not aiming high enough. I mean, Barack is president, you know, he's sort of an example of how high we can shoot just as people of color to do the things that we want to do in life. And I just feel like whatever his perception of his reality is, but to me, they're just excuses.
Ty is here. He's a banking software installer. You're the only black guy in your department. What do you have to say about this?
I totally disagree because, I mean, I'm a professional. I mean, I even look, you know, different from everybody that's in my office in the whole company. I'm the only black guy that, you know, they've ever seen. But even looking the way that I look, if you hold yourself in a certain light and you hold yourself with a certain esteem, they're always going to respect you.
And you had an issue with your hair because you have locks. Turn to the side so we can see your hair. Beautiful. So tell us what happened at work.
After I was hired, I was kind of taken back behind the closed doors, and they're like, you know, we hope this doesn't offend you, but can you, now that you're accepting the position, can you get your hair cut? Or can you cut it, make it shorter? Can you not make it so long? You know, and I mean, I took direct offense to that because that wasn't just, you know, about a hairstyle. This is like a cultural expression. You know, so it was like, it was offensive because, you know, I'm the only black guy, so it's like, we want you to fit into this mold or this form.
Say you were having trouble getting a job and you think it was because of your locks. Would you cut it and get the job and then grow them out?
If it got to the point where, you know, I just couldn't find anything, but it's like, I don't think that this is an unprofessional hairstyle. You know, I think I can dress it up, and it's not just about the hairstyle. I mean, I go into work looking like this all the time, too, so it's much more than just, you know, so if I was, you know, saggy pants and thugged out and the dreads, then maybe, okay, that strikes against you, but if you can clean it up, I mean, there's other things that you can add in there to still express yourself, you know, as a black man.
Dr. Dyson, what do you think about this? How much of it do you think, someone like Sean, I mean, you don't know Sean, but you've heard his side, and then you've heard his very good friend Kijan's side saying she doesn't think he's trying enough, but he's saying he just feels that the doors are closing.
Well, there's another element here. I think, look, here's the irony of America. All of these stories are true at the same time. Truth is not cereal, S-E-R-I-L, not Captain Crunch versus Fruit Loops. But one thing is true until something else comes along, and then that's true. Stuff is true at the same time. It can be equally true that a highly intelligent, gifted young man who has an alternative hairstyle, the locks, is able to secure employment, and it's equally true that a highly gifted graduate student cannot find jobs. If you read William Jewis Wilson's book, When Work Disappears, Stereotypes of Black Male, you know, the Biggie movie came out. You know, dropped out of high school, stereotypes of a black male misunderstood, but it's all still good, whatever. The point is that you can have a dark-skinned black man who looks ominous and threatening versus a lighter-skinned, you know, voluptuously gifted young man right here.
I love that, voluptuously
right,
gifted.
Right. The brother he's well built and so on and so forth. Both of them are. But the point is that there's a gradation in terms of skin color, in terms of stereotype. So you could have a guy with a graduate degree still not being able to find employment, even as America moves toward the opportunity that Barack Obama has opened our minds to that all men should have.
Should he shave the beard to get the job?
Well, look, I mean, obviously, if you're hungry enough, you're going to shave the beard, right? But at the same time, if others don't have to shave their beards and you do, you might have to say, look, that's the world in which we operate. One day I will overcome that barrier and make it possible for me not to have to shave my beard, but perhaps until then, I may have to give in terms of the follicles on the face in order to get the job so that you can change this stuff from within.
It's about the principle, though. You know, if we continue to try to assimilate to standards of, you know, white workplace culture, then when are we ever going to get to a point where it's okay to have a beard, okay to have locks?
But Sean,
okay
right now you got to pay bills, and you got to eat, and sometimes just pulling out the bick is okay.
And looking at Sean, I mean, you have a nice groomed beard. I don't want you to be a smart brother, and I know you're super intelligent. I don't want you to give yourself excuses in this day and age when you've seen somebody named Barack Hussein Obama become president, and you sit around and say, yeah, that's easy for him. He don't have no beard. You can't, you know what I mean? Don't do that to yourself, because it is about your hustle game right now.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that Barack is doing to inspire everybody is that he's everybody's president. He's showing how far everybody can go if you apply and just keep going. It's not going to happen in one day, but you just can't be as smart as you are saying,
don't give him an excuse, Sean.
Yeah,
don't give him an excuse. To me, shave the beard, you get that job and you grow that beard out, and they cannot fire you for it, honey, or else they get in trouble.